Swore I saw an "In Tomlin We Trust" sign at last night's game. And now Big Ben is saying that Tomlin should be allowed to leave on his own terms. You know what? If they eke out a divisional title, you know ownership is going to bring him back because they never fire head coaches. The problem with that is if they win the division, but they're one and done yet again, no Steeler fan is going to think that winning that garbage division is justification for bringing him back. I'm going to need to see a lot more than a win over Miami in the freezing cold to think that Tomlin should come back. Win in the playoffs, then get back to me. I'm Jim Rome. Remember, you can follow me on Instagram at Jim Rome.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family business or at home with his wife and sons. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH, this is Sports Daily.
Aloha, Mr. Howard.
Well, hello there, everybody. Happy Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday to you here on Sports Daily. Jacob Albrock, TJ Cleveland, with you for the next little while, getting you through the first part of your day on the way to work, however it is you're tuning in over the air on our video streams on the Odyssey app. We appreciate you. You can get in touch with the show via any of those methods, 869-1240 on the hotline, on the video streams. Just comment right there on Facebook, YouTube, X. We can take those over the air. Thanks for watching us on 12 News Connected as well. And if you're listening to us on the Odyssey app, you can leave us a voice message. We've got a lot of fun stuff to get to today. We will discuss KU's win over Towson last night, 73-49. Shreyas Laddha, our KU insider, in to help us with that. No Darren Peterson last night. K-State loses a pretty key piece and an uneasy transfer portal entry yesterday. We'll get to that as well. We'll take you around the NFL, latest on Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, all kinds of fun stuff today here on Sports Daily, and it's all what's on tap, brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company. Groups can gather for holiday fun. Bring the whole family. Your out-of-town visitors to WBC for a taste of pizza and beer made here, east near Central and Woodlawn, west at 13th and Tyler, and in historic Delano at Handley. Wichita Brewing Company, where groups gather for the holiday season. TJ, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Got to hear the sweet, sweet music of Max's Hawaiian playing this Wednesday morning. I forget about it every week on Tuesday nights. Wake up Wednesday real tired, trying to choke the coffee down, and then I'm taking to Maui to listen to what Max wants to.
Yeah, you know what? All you need to do is just you set a little reminder on your phone to grab your Hawaiian shirt on Tuesday night, and you set it out, and that way you don't forget. It's pretty easy. That's what I do. It's right there for you.
Wow.
Look, you can use lots of it. You can get them as golf shirts. This is a Hawaiian golf shirt right now. You just need to embrace it, TJ. It's working. We're getting nice weather today. Looks like it's going to be.
Might actually golf today.
We'll take a nap through tomorrow. Ooh, I didn't even think about playing golf. Man, that is a good idea. I don't think I can, but I might need to check the schedule on that. But yeah, we're just inspired by this wonderful weather. So get out there and enjoy it. Tomorrow, put some rocks in your pocket. We'll have to deal with a little wind, but today it should be very nice out there. It is December 17th after all. And what are we looking at today? 50s?
We're going to be grilling on Christmas Day.
Heck yeah, we are. The problem is,
we're going to get absolutely destroyed in February.
Oh yeah. But that's gonna happen anyway. So we don't need to rush anything. Like, let's enjoy this while we have it. It's not that unusual to go outside on Christmas. I mean, it's just fine. It's fine. There's a reason white Christmases are rare. If Christmas was in late January, it probably wouldn't be that rare. What is what are you off from TV today?
Today, yes.
See, so that's the problem with golf. You'll be good like at noon to go play when it's sunny and 50. For me, I'd still have to go out at cloudy and like 32 degrees. And man, I love golf, but I don't love it that much. That ain't happening. So I'm probably stuck. Maybe this weekend I can.
I'm flirting with the weird part of my golf game, Jacob. We've discussed this on the show. I had the shanks real bad for the last like month and a half. I've been trying to work through.
You were the shockers at the free throw line.
Yeah, it was maybe worse than that. And I've been, golf lessons, range sessions, everything like that. Went to the simulator, played really good the other day, and now I'm really fighting the urge to like book 7 tee times in the next 7 days to try to strike while the iron's hot. So I don't know if I should do that. Do I go back to the range, keep working on the craft? I don't know what to do at this point.
Well, I don't want to crush your hopes and dreams. You're not going pro, so I think probably you just understand that it's golf and it's hard and you'll be fine and just pick it up or go 9 times. But ultimately it's probably not going to matter too much.
Yeah, it's true.
But have fun with it and enjoy it out there in the sunny weather today. I wish I could join you.
I might actually golf Christmas Day. I got to cover the Chiefs game that night. It may be presents in the morning, golf on Christmas Day, then go cover Chiefs game. Go cover Gardner Minshew, baby.
You don't have to cover Gardner Minshew. I think you're in the same, but a lot of Chiefs fans are like, man, Christmas Day, like we're gonna. I can't wait to see like what the Netflix numbers are on Christmas Day with nothing on the line and Gardner Minshew under center.
It's a big storyline of its own at this point. This is the first game inside Arrowhead Stadium that Patrick Mahomes won't start in 6 years. This is the draft capital game. If they lose, that's going to be the best thing that's going to happen to them.
That's going to be the case in every game they play. And the problem are 2 of the teams that they play are in the same boat. So what are you going to do? I don't think that the Chiefs are going to lose the next 3 games.
The Athletic had a graphic up. I didn't dig into the story, but the Chiefs, they broke down percentages that the Chiefs can get this pick. And I think it's like 11 or 12 is the highest, and there is a 1% chance they could fall all the way to the 8th pick. And so he said, how is that possible? Everyone else would have to win out.
Yeah, and look, you see a guy like Jeremiah Love come into the draft, a guy that you were talking about yesterday, who Amazon, Rick says, not Netflix, whatever. Jeremiah Love, it's number 3 overall player, according to Mel Kiper. Maybe on the table. He's probably not going to get drafted number 3 overall.
Mel Kiper said Shedeur Sanders was number 1 too.
What?
Mel Kiper said Shedeur Sanders was number 1 too.
Shedeur Sanders, the best quarterback in the class so far? What quarterback's better than him?
That's a good question.
He did not say Shedeur Sanders was the top player in the class. He said he might have said he was the top quarterback.
Okay, top quarterback.
And I think he's right. I said the same thing. What quarterback out of that class is better? Who would you rather have right now? Cam Ward, Tyler Shuck, or Shedeur Sanders?
They're about Jackson Darts in that class.
It's true. And Jackson Dart's going to have a real hard time staying on the field.
That's true too.
I mean, which is it?
Yeah.
Dart has impressed us. Dart has been the better quarterback, but I not to make this a Shedeur. I took a lot of crap for saying I like Shedeur Sanders and thought he was the best quarterback in the class. Yeah. And I think that could be correct. And that doesn't mean he's going to be awesome. It just means it was not a very good quarterback class and he was the best one. We'll see. But anywho, that's happening. Arch Manning is not going to enter the NFL draft.
This is going to be a really weird draft next year.
It is going to be a weird draft next year. I was really glad to see Arch Manning come back because I would now, like, anytime you get like this this is what happened with Shedeur with me. Like, anytime there's this overwhelming, like, this guy sucks. And I'm like, he's like 19 starting his first year of college football. Like, he still has the same skill set he had when everyone thought he was one of the best prospects in a while. Like, did you notice he got a lot better over the course of the year? I'm glad he's coming back. I hope he kills it next year. But you lose Arch. A running back is one of the top players overall. How high do they go? What do the Chiefs do? It is, there are other years you probably had wished the Chiefs would be in this situation. There are years where, imagine 2-3 years ago at that quarterback class, you get in there and everybody's taking quarterbacks and you just have some stud falling down the draft board. Hell, that happened to him last year. Josh Simmons falling into the 30s. Like, it'll be interesting. Are they in BPA mode? Do they have a specific need? All the things that we'll discuss as Patrick Mahomes rehabs his knee. We'll get into some of that, but when we come back, let's talk KU. Big winners over Towson last night. What'd we see? The news on Darren Peterson. It's all there for you. That's when we come back. It's all brought to you in Cleveland on Sports Daily. Don't go away.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
83-1001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Sports Daily is on KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. It is Sports Daily. Jacob Albrock, TJ Cleveland with you here on this Wednesday. Glad to be with you here on this Wednesday. It's a fun day. Sports Talk on KFH presented by Paramount Plus. Count on Sundays all season long with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. You will see the Chiefs on CBS, KWCH this weekend. 12 News has it for you as they go to Tennessee and take on the Titans in a noon kick. The Gardner Minshew game. Is Minshew, is he auditioning for a job next year? You think it's that simple?
Probably. I mean, if he's good, they probably feel better. If he's bad, they're going to be more stressed considering I don't know when Mahomes is coming back, and there's no point in speculating at this point because everybody's saying something different.
Yeah, look, I think everybody's pretty aligned in 9 months right now is the expectation, which is fine. That means like he's done with the rehab in 9 months. That's the other, 9 months. Yes, it would be the start of the season. And I have been one of the people from the moment he snapped his leg to say, hey, it's Mahomes. Like, don't be surprised if, but 9 months to be done with the rehab. Does he immediately step on the field and play at that point, or does it take another ramp up period? So, and it's obviously silly to speculate on those minute details at this point. We've got to, get through the process here of the end of this season before we can probably even have remotely a decent idea of that. All right, let's talk a little KU. TJ, 73-49 winners over Towson last night. Flory Badunga was outstanding, as you would expect him to be against a team like Towson. And then it was a pretty balanced attack otherwise. I thought, every time that Peterson doesn't play, and we'll get to that part of this in a second, every time he doesn't play, I kind of just sit there and I'm like, can they just have an incredible defensive game in those games? And they did. They held Towson under 50. I can't wait to watch KU and Houston play a game in the 50s later this year, right? KU must be great defensively. They must be. And they have been for the most part this year. And I think they're getting even better.
Yeah, I agree. I think that they've learned that is the bread and butter. And I think that that's what this group of guys have learned, that's what they do really well. That's what we saw in Vegas, I think, as well, of how they were able to win those games without a Darren Peterson. And so this group has, I think it's proven us wrong for sure about, what they have after Peterson. And so I think that the more you want, like this team without Darren Peterson, I think can finish as an NCAA. It could be an NCAA tournament team without Darren Peterson and probably be higher than a 5 even without Darren Peterson. I would go as far to say.
It's going to be tough when they start to play Big 12 games every night. That's where that's where it'll grind on you a little bit. But again, great defense raises that floor so much that you can at least at that point, if you're playing great defense, you can count on probably winning most of your home games. And then you get into that point and you're like, okay, a 500 team in the Big 12 is going to the NCAA tournament in a pretty good place. So Badunga was great, as you'd expect him to be. How did Melvin Council follow? That was something else we were kind of watching. Look, he led the team in shots, scored 15, but took 6 threes, which 3 for 6. Heck yeah. So again, like Council sort of gaining confidence and becoming, that option B offensively. That's a great thing. That's what we need to see out of this team.
Shreyas to tell you, it's funny about how annoyed he has been on some of this stuff for the last week, especially because of what the ESPN broadcast was saying about whoa, Melvin Council is shooting this one from downtown. And it's like Melvin Council shot 40% at St. Bonaventure last year. It's not like this guy is Flory Badunga chucking up threes.
Right.
But yeah, literally, it's why KU got him. They're not going to get a guy from St. Bonaventure that can't score the basketball. I saw a stat that he missed his first 10 threes as a Jayhawk, went 0 for 10, and since then is shooting 48% or something like that. It's unreal how bad that first 10 slowed him down. But I mean, they haven't had a guy that can make threes in 3 years. If he can do that, then all for it.
Yeah, look, I don't know what he's going to be. I would love to see what he is in conjunction with Peterson. I think we saw that degree at NC State, but when you really started to love on Council, it was kind of when Peterson went down, right? I mean, he was making threes in that game, but they will need this kind of game. I mean, those are your two options, right? If it's not Peterson, it's going to be Council and it's going to be Badunga, I think. And sure, other guys are going to have their night. They're going to feel it on certain nights, and that's good too. But all of these pieces look great to me, considering what KU was going into this year with literally 100% question marks.
Yep.
So I think we're feeling good. And then, of course, you're not feeling good about Darren Peterson because, again, and I think this makes a lot of sense. He didn't play last night. The team put out a statement from Bill Self saying something like it's flaring up in practice now, this quad, which is not good news. They had this opportunity to give him 3 weeks basically off. I would practice him as hard as he can practice, not playing him until UCF. I mean, I think at this point, what I hope is fans now, the vocal Peterson soft, all that nonsense. I hope those fans are at least now on the kid is hurt. He's not 100%. It sucks, but the goal has to be to get him to 100%, and everybody can just chill out on the definitive statements on his KU career. Let's just see if he can get healthy first and foremost. I've had a break between NC State and the start of conference play. If he can, I believe it's 3 weeks, if they can just kind of shut him down a little bit and see if this thing works. I don't know what you do.
I mean, the thing is, though, and this is something that we talked with Shreyas about a couple of weeks ago, is that, if he's practicing hard, what's the difference between practicing hard and playing hard at that point?
If you've ever played anything in your life, there's a difference between practicing and playing.
I know that, but, if you're sprinting around and pushing it in practice, what's to keep you from playing 20 minutes in the next game or something like that? You know what I mean? It's the same, in terms of the quad, the quad is going to get the same amount of work, basically. You're not going to play 40 minutes.
If his quad is flaring up, they're not going to practice him that way.
Okay, so then I agree. I'm fine with that. Don't practice him and not play him.
They're not. But they're not going to do that. They're not going to say, all right, Peterson's got a bum leg. Let's start running up and downs right now. Here we go. Let's test it out. They're not going to.
Well, that's what you just said. You just said to practice him hard and not play him.
Practice it, but not as hard as he's going to play in a game. Practice him as much as he can take and see where he's at, but don't there's no need to push the injury. If he's telling you he wants to practice, if he's then great, let's do it. But you can't go out there in a game and say, all right, Peterson, we want you to give a 70% here. Let's go. That's impossible. Nobody can do that. You're going to get out there and you're going to play. You can control a practice environment.
That's true. I think my thoughts on it at this point is just if you're gonna shut it down, just do it. And I don't want him touching a ball for a 3. Just sit in the training room and figure it out.
I would have to ask the trainers and ask him on that before I say you can't do anything. because then there's a ramp up. Like if he's trying to work through it, like what we don't know is, has he ever dealt with this ever before? They're not going to tell us that public facing, but behind the scenes, is this something you've ever had to deal with? And if it is, like, how did you get through it that time? We'll never know the answer to that ever. They will never say a word about that because it could hurt his draft stock, right? They're not like, we'll never know that stuff. So, okay, what is the path here? Well, we know at the minimum, they don't need to play him for these 2 games. Like it just doesn't matter enough. So is it a little bit of practice? What do the trainers think? Like, how do you deal with this? It is weird. It's cramping. I would imagine if there was any like on an MRI structural damage, he would be shut down and would not be doing anything. But I think the confusing part is there probably is not that. And so it's like, okay, well, what then? Because at that point, the trainers are probably telling you like he's in no danger. Like his muscles are fine. It's cramping. Yep. So how do you work through the cramping? I think, in a controlled environment, you can test it to a point. And maybe this is what it is. Maybe you're getting 25, 27 minutes out of Peterson, and you have to learn how to utilize that before his legs kind of give up on him. But it's happening in practice. So whatever happened in that game carried over to practice. That's probably where there were red flags. Like, all right, enough. Like, we're not, like, now it's happening. Because apparently that hadn't been happening, right? We haven't heard that this is a problem in practice.
Yeah, this is a new one. This has nothing. And Bill, that was one of the big things that he talked about last night at the press conference, is that this explicitly has nothing to do with his hamstring. Like, this is a different injury, and like it's not a lingering thing. It is, but it's also like not. This is the 3rd different injury in the non-conference. You know what I mean?
I would rather have the cramping issues than a hamstring injury. Yeah. What is isn't there something you drink when you get cramps that's supposed to help?
Electrolytes.
Yeah. Which of course, look, if I guess just in our heads, we all need to not expect him at this point. I think to expect him to just be good at any point this year, it's probably not the right train of thought. I don't know that that's going to happen. How do you even think that at this point?
It's such an interesting conversation that we haven't had to have yet in college sports. And I'm not insinuating anything about Darren Peterson here or KU, but like this has happened in football where guys will come out and blow out their knee or whatever, and they're out for the season or something like that. And like get paid a bunch of money to come to the school and not get to play that year because they get hurt. Like in football, it's not as big of a thing because you have to play college football for 3 years, like, what if this was the Michael Porter situation? Like that's what my mind keeps going to. And I don't think it is. Again, I'm not insinuating anything. But like imagine back to that Michael Porter situation at Mizzou where he didn't play in a game. If it was the NIL era, like he would have gotten a fat check to go to Mizzou and not played a game. Like
if he's hurt, then that's part of it. That's why it's never happened for schools to run that stuff, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's not.
It's just never happened before. Like, what do you can't really do anything about it. You're just, SOL that you lost your money on a guy that you can't see play,
That's correct. That's why it's a little easier to pool it all up. That's why it's a little easier to pull it all up for the schools. I think it's an unusual situation. I mean, at the end of the day, it's an unusual situation that's annoying and frustrating. And I just don't want to lose sight of the fact that KU looks pretty good otherwise, right? Like I think we're having 2 different conversations. Like the floor without him appears to be much higher than we thought.
Yep.
The ceiling with him is like a national championship. I really do think that. But the floor without him is pretty good. It's not like this is a team that is coming into itself where the parts seem to be fitting together nicely, and you like it. They don't have that obvious, without Peterson out there, that obvious star player. But they have a collection of guys who are buying into their roles, who are becoming one of the best, if not the best defensive team in the country. And they're learning how to find offense. And that's awesome. And I think that they can really work through the Big 12. Are they going to win the Big 12 without Darren Peterson? I don't think so.
No.
But are they going to be a team that makes noise, more noise probably than they have the last 2 years? I think probably they will be.
They're a lot better than I thought they were. I would agree with that. I think that there's still scares of the fact that basically last night, like 5 players contributed to that 73 points for the most part. I think there was maybe 10 points scored off the bench. That's the thing that's going to scare you is that even when you have Darren Peterson, you're really only going to run 6 deep basically, and then like a 7th guy to come help out. You're really going to get
shots. They tried. They played good minutes. 3 of them, 4 of them really. But Rosario, Dawson, and El Marco, a collective. They took a collective 16 shots. They only made 3 of them, but they were trying. It wasn't so it wasn't by design.
Yeah, but
even
still, you got 3 guys. It's been a trend.
I understand what you're saying, but I think it's good to see them still trying to we would like to have another couple of guys here in the rotation.
Somebody's got to shoot the ball. Yeah.
Who's going to come take it? And we've seen flashes, I think, of El Marco this year. I didn't have any expectation for Cole Rosario, but I was told to expect big things.
I know.
And we really haven't seen much of anything from him. He's not ready yet. I think you can see the flashes and the outline and silhouette of what could be a great player down the road, but he's not there. He doesn't need to be in this starting 5 right now.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it's, like we've talked about, I don't want to see it because that means that something went wrong. But if I could see this group against a Big 12 team, I'd be very intrigued of what that would look like. And I don't want to see that because that means Darren Peterson's hurt. But I keep thinking about if this team was in March Madness as a 6, we'll say they're a 6 seed. Could they beat the 3? Is that the number they'd play? Could they beat a 3 seed?
Yeah, sure they could. Look, draft? I think they showed us that. I mean, they beat Tennessee. They had UConn on the ropes. So they were, they were in the Duke game for sure. I think as time goes on, absolutely they could. As far as the Big 12, to me, it feels like a 4th, 5th place finish, somewhere around 500 in the Big 12, which would be great without Peterson. But yeah, look, I think KU fans, and the other thing to be excited about is they keep getting better. This is a team that gets better. They've gotten better offensively. They're finding their groove, and defensively, they are embracing being one of the best in the country. And when you can run out 2 dudes as big as and athletic as Tiller and Badunga, you're not going to lose many nights on the rebounds, and you're not going to lose many nights defensively. Those 2 dudes are athletic enough to be on the court together. That is a unique thing for college basketball. Good luck. You better be able to shoot the 3 when you're playing KU, or you're going to be in trouble.
It's true. This feels like more of a defensive team than we've seen the last 2 years as well.
100% better. Yeah. They had good,
which is funny because that team had DeJuan Harris and KJ Adams, defensive players.
They had good individual defensive players. This team just fits. I think that's the most promising thing that I could tell. It looks like this team fits. Are they lacking something? Sure they are. They're lacking offense. They have that, hopefully, working through this very annoying situation for everybody involved. But, I think this is a much better team without him than I thought it would be. And I think most people thought it would be. And here they are sitting here, and they'll get another game against Davidson on Monday night. And then that's it until January 3rd. So for Peterson, it will be from December 13th to January 3rd, the opportunity for him to take that time to get this thing right by the Big 12. At this point, aren't we happy if you can get 25 minutes a game from Peterson in the Big 12? I would be satisfied with that at this point.
I'd like more, but I guess with the
I would love a full unrestricted workload, but until at this point, I just want to get something out of him. Right? Spurts, play him in spurts, get the instant offense, sit him down, rest his leg. The problem for everybody involved is who knows if that's even helpful, right? Nobody knows if that even does any good. So you got to work through it. He'll sit down. I'll bet you we don't see him until UCF. And I think that's probably the best play. Is it going to work? I don't know, but I think it's the best play at this point for Self and the Jayhawks.
Is that on the road at UCF?
I believe so. Double checking. Yes, it is. So they start on the road at UCF.
They got upset there 2 years ago.
It's the Big 12. Any road game is tough. Like there's no cupcakes in the Big 12. We know that. All right, we'll come back. We got more Sports Daily. What's the latest on Mahomes? What did we learn about, hear about? Has everybody had something to say on it yesterday? We'll discuss that when we return on Sports Daily.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas fan headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
is Sports Daily on KFH.
Welcome back in, everybody. It is Sports Daily here on KFH. Glad to be with you on this Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday. Thanks to Crestview Country Club. We're talking about golf. 36 holes to choose from. You never know when you're going to, get the opportunity to get out there and get after it. Falling now, and it'll be easier to find a golf ball when you hit it out there. But if you would like to know more about their 36 holes, all the great holiday activities they have going right now, events every night. There's a wine night, I think, this week my wife is going to, or something like that. They have bourbon nights for us. They had, a Santa event for the kids here recently. All of those things available in the best time of the year to join. Give Crestview a call. Tell them we sent you from Sports Daily. We appreciate their support. All right, TJ, you had sent me something yesterday. You were surprised. I think you're confused by the Mahomes timeline. I think
it's just I don't know if it's so much as confused. It's just the fact of, like, depending on who you listen to, everybody's got a different opinion on it.
I think the opinion right now is, I think, a couple of things. The fact that he already had the surgery gives you some idea of how he feels about the rehab. Like, the next morning, the next day, get down to Dallas. Okay, great. Let's get this the hell over with so we can start to come back. I think that is along the lines of where my head went when I saw it, which was like, it's December. I wouldn't be stunned if he's back for the start of the regular season. It's Mahomes, right? Like, this is kind of what he does. We saw him come back quickly from the kneecap dislocation, whatever the hell that was, on the quarterback sneak. Like, he plays hurt all the time. You think he's going to be hurt, and he's not. Like, that part of his, that's a physical part of his game that has helped him succeed. So if he's back in 9 months, will I be surprised? Not at all. I won't be surprised. If he starts the regular season, will I be surprised? Nope, not even a little bit. Is it likely? That's the part I don't think anybody knows that, including him. But he'll approach it, I can almost guarantee you, with the expectation that I'm going to be back for the start of the regular season. And that's a good place to start if you're a Chiefs fan. So I'm not surprised to hear that stuff. It sounds like, medically speaking, most people are getting the same vibe too. Like the Twitter doctors who we've talked about, Schefter, I think, had it yesterday. Like, it does appear like it could be a 9-month rehab if everything goes normal, which is, really good news.
But I think the thing that I'm most confused about is the fact of, like, I'm with you on that, and, like, it started off as just an ACL tear, and that was the reports that were released from the Chiefs and everything like that. And that was when everybody was like, 9 months. 9 months is possible to do. And then it turned into reports started to come out about, it's kind of what we thought. It's ACL and it's LCL. Like, that is the same as, I don't know who it was. Somebody else did it, and I can't remember who it was. But theirs took that pushed it back to like 11 and a half months. And then you think about, like, I don't know. Like, that people just ignoring the LCL part of it. And, like, I understand it's the same rehab for the knee, but, like, does that not slow down the process at all?
I believe that the one that slows it down is where where's Earl? Earl would know this for us. Earl, if you're out there, explain this to us. I think the one that makes it worse is the MCL. I think. So there are different kinds, like there's like everything, right? There are different degrees of any injury. I don't think he snapped his ACL in half, which makes it worse. So I think just, again, right away, Dr. Chow is the one on Twitter that I like. And he was like, that looks like there could be a little LCL involved in that too. But he's been saying from the beginning, like 9 months.
And then he changed his mind yesterday, is what I'm telling you.
I didn't see him change his mind.
I sent it to you. He said he thinks it may not even be till the start of 2027 season.
What? You didn't send me that.
I did, right before the Schefter one, because that's why I said I was confused. Because
I just saw the Schefter one, and I was like,
Dr. Chow says it's going to be 2027. Adam Schefter says it's going to be 2026. And to be fair, Dr. Chow is probably being a little dramatic for social media clicks. That's his whole job now.
Oh, he's saying fully mobile. He's saying fully mobile, right? He's saying, like, before he's 100% back. I think playing and being 100%. That's the other part of this. Like, regardless of when he returns from the injury, we don't know what that looks like. He's an older player that more than ever relied on mobility. We know that his lateral speed is a big part of his game. Yes, like that part of it. I don't even want to think about that, because there is also the question of, does he return as the same player?
I mean, that's like,
I don't know that.
That's the other thing that I'm wondering about, which we don't know any of this stuff, which is kind of silly that we're speculating.
It's not
rehabs.
speculating. We're talking about it. I mean,
yeah, I know, but it's just funny that, like, what do you think the rehab process is like? I don't know. I've never torn my ACL before. But the other part of it as well is, like, if he is done rehabbing it in September, like, he's not going to be 100%. Like, do you put a gumpy knee out there in September, or do
knee
you
brace and all those things?
I
don't know.
Do you wait and just wait till he can run?
How the off season goes. Here's what frightens me a little bit about it is, now more than ever, it's been obvious that his mobility in the pocket is one of the absolute most key components to his game.
I know. What's the offensive line going to look like?
Just as a pure stand there and throw the ball quarterback, to me, he has not looked as good the last 2 years at that part. What makes him still so great is his ability to keep plays alive, move around, be the maestro of that orchestra and do those things. That's where this is going to be a real challenge, I think, for him. Are we going to get to the point, at any point, does Mahomes come back? You're like, okay, well, now we kind of need you to be, we need you to be a pocket passer for a little while that knee can like, that's probably not going to work either. So those are all factors. We're not even to that point yet. Like, what kind of player is Mahomes coming back from an ACL injury? For Tom Brady, who was a statue back there for the most part, right? Up and down, maybe 2 or 3 shuffle steps before every throw, wasn't as big a deal that he tore his ACL. Mahomes is moving around every time he touches the ball, and he's moving in circles, right? Like, he's running around and to the side. So those are things, like, until we see it, that we won't know the answer to that until this time next year, right? Like, until December of next year, when we, hopefully see him play at that point. And maybe that's the part, because it is like Carson Wentz comes to mind.
I know.
That's one where it's like, Chow's saying maybe into 2027.
Yeah.
Okay. That may be gone for a lot longer.
Yeah. That I don't know. Like, that's going to be the $1 million question next year. What do you want to do with this
question?
Yeah, probably more than $1 million. How important are the games in September? I think is what is just going to come to mind. You know what I mean? Like,
important. So then
they
they count the same as the ones in December. They all count.
They do.
Same.
I agree with that. But, like, do you, I guess that's not the best way to think about it, but, like, it's a matter of, do you want Pat to play the whole year and, I mean, potentially risk getting hurt? Like, if you can't move around, you're going to get hurt.
I don't know that you're going to get. I don't think you play scared ever.
I don't think you play scared. I think my mind goes to, if it was like this year where he was hit the most he's ever been hit in his career, like, do you feel comfortable enough to put Patrick Mahomes back there as he's coming off an ACL injury?
To me, it overemphasizes the need to, when you think about this offseason, to sort of redefine, at least in the short term, like, what are your expectations for the offense? To same thing we've been saying. It's time to evolve the offense a little bit, even if it's the short term. Try it for a year. Run the ball like crazy next year, because when you do get Mahomes back, you still don't even know what you're going to have. Obviously, being able to run the ball helps whichever quarterback you're going to have. Maybe not Jameis Winston, but all the other ones, right? If it's Minshew, like, you're going to want to be able to run the ball. So it is the perfect opportunity organizationally to redefine the offense, which takes us into another really interesting talking point from yesterday. The Daily Mail UK, citing a source, which is about like TMZ, right? Reporting something like this. They get a lot right, and they're a lot of the times all over the place, but take it for what it's worth. Grain of salt appropriately placed here. They say Kelsey, somebody is telling them, somebody close to Kelsey is saying he does not want to go out like this, and he's going to come back. That'd be great news for Mahomes. Be great news for the Chiefs, especially if they want to run the ball and do some of those things and have just, it'd be a a version of Kelce where they probably don't throw to him as often as they've had to this year for a variety of reasons. But again, like, okay, what does that look like then? Because I've said it a million times. If Travis Kelce wants to come back and the contract works out, which you assume it would, you better take him back. He's the third most productive tight end in football this year. Yeah, he drops more balls than he used to. He's still really good compared to his peers at that position.
He is. I don't know. All signs in my mind point to him not coming back.
But what is that based on, though? That's what I like. We laugh at the report from the Daily Mail or whatever. Unless there's something I'm missing, we have absolutely nothing to go on that he's going to retire, other than his contract is expiring.
I guess my mind was telling me no in the fact of Mahomes' injury of like Travis Kelce's not going to come back and come play with Gardner Minshew. Like he would come back if Mahomes is going to be there. Basically, I think is what my mind points to.
Those two have probably had a quick conversation since all this.
I mean, I'm sure that they will have a conversation.
Mahomes says, "I'll be back week 1." Right now is probably what Mahomes is telling everybody behind the scenes.
Yeah, I don't know.
It would be awesome. I mean, it would be fun. It's strange to me how many people, because he drops a few passes, are like, Travis Kelce's cooked. He's done. And I'm like, have you been watching this year? He's definitely not. Like, he's been very productive. Yeah, he does drop more passes than he should. There's no question about that. That's it, though. Everything else looks fine.
He's looked good. Like I agree. I'm with you. I don't think that he hasn't looked good per Travis Kelce standards, but he's still, I'm with you on the fact that he would still help the Chiefs. That's where I'm at. The Chiefs aren't going to tell him no. It would be
they would be absolutely stupid to do that.
Yeah. So like I think it's a silly thing to think of it like, do the Chiefs want him back? Like the Chiefs absolutely would take him back. It's just a matter of, does he want to play another year of football? Like,
was Gronk on the Super Bowl team for the Bucs, or was that the year after?
The year after, I think.
I mean, Gronk came back and was nowhere near what Kelce is and still helped them win games.
Yeah.
So you just have to reset your expectations. Kelce's not going to come back and command some massive contract. He's going to come back because he loves football. He's going to come back because he loves Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. He's going to come back because why wouldn't he? Like, if he can still physically do it, which he clearly can still physically do it, dude loves football as much as anybody in the history of the world has ever loved football. Part of the reason Mahomes and Kelce have been so great is because of how much they both just love football and love playing football.
Yeah. I don't know.
I would love it. I think it'd be awesome.
If you ask me right now, I have no idea. But I mean, it depends on what the Chiefs want to be next year, too. I think that goes into it as well. How valuable.
The Daily Mail. It is the only piece of information that we have either direction.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's more so like the other conversation to have in it is the one that we're having of like, if he comes back, like, what will that look like for the Chiefs? Like, if
that
the Chiefs are going
to me, that helps them be able to buy into running the ball more. It's just one less thing they have to worry about replacing.
I guess, but Travis Kelce's not a great blocker. Like,
well, no, but he doesn't have to play all those snaps. He doesn't like Travis Kelce can come back and play 50% of the snaps. Who cares, right? Like, just put him in on obvious passing downs. Like, it doesn't really matter what he does. Could we do me one more favor if you're listening, Travis? In the fantasy football playoffs, could you finish out this year strong? Can you not give Gardner Minshew?
I would be terrified.
Go give Gardner Minshew everything you've got, big guy. All right, we're coming back. We got more Sports Daily. Another hour coming your way.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
31001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas fan headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH, this is Sports Daily.
Aloha, Mr. Hyde.
Welcome back to Sports Daily here on a Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday. You can hear the ukuleles playing, much to my demise. Jacob is here with his Hawaiian shirt. He'll be back momentarily. We missed anything in the first hour. We dug into the Patrick Mahomes ACL situation, what we're hearing from reporters and insiders and the social media people about when we could expect to see him back. We have no idea. We're trying to guess, and it's silly to even speculate. It's Patrick Mahomes. He'll come back whenever Patrick Mahomes is ready. What will that look like for the Chiefs, though, I think is the biggest question. We dug a lot into the KU game we saw last night against Towson. No Darren Peterson. Again, he missed his 8th game of the season. This time it was a quad injury. If you missed any of that, go back on the Odyssey app in the past hour. Find it in the podcasted version as these go out as soon as the show ends. For everybody that may have missed anything on Sports Daily. Jacob, we haven't dug anything into the Jace Brown situation at K-State is our other big news from last night.
Yep, we'll spend our time a little bit there. Of course, we have Shreyas Laddha coming this hour as well. It's all What's on Tap, brought to you by Wichita Brewing Company, now pouring the brand new seasonal Bach Lager. Bach, cold beer that'll give you a warm feeling. Bach Lager available at all 3 WBC brew pubs, east near Central and Woodlawn, west at 13th and Tyler, in historic Delano at Handley. Wichita Brewing Company, pizza and beer made here. I don't know. You tell me. We'll let's just crack the can and then we'll spend our full segment on it in the next segment. So Jace Brown does not. Well, he enters the portal, and we do have to say that doesn't mean he's leaving yet. We have seen guys come back out of the portal. It happens on the same day we see Collin Klein go down and do a presser in College Station on being the Aggies offensive coordinator here, which he handled perfectly, as you would expect he would. If you're a K-State fan, do you root against the Aggies right now?
That's such an interesting conversation that I've thought about of do you want to be able to tote around the title of, our head coach won a national championship as an OC, or do you want to say lose that game? We need to fill a roster. Come down here and start recruiting, Colin. I don't know. It's going to happen at 4 different places, I believe, or 3 different places where the coach is going somewhere. Like Ohio State's offensive coordinator is doing the same thing, and a whole bunch of them. That's what he was talking about yesterday, too, in his press conference. So very weird to look at, by the way. To see Collin Klein wearing all this purple and being a head coach and doing all these events and press conferences, and then it's oh, he's still wearing that. It's like seeing somebody with their side chick or something like that, I feel like.
Yeah, it is strange. I think the Aggies deserve a lot of credit for how well they're handling it, and Elko and everybody. They introduced him as the K-State head coach, which was kind of fun. There's a part of me that's it'd be nice if they just lost and he could get, really dig in. But then on the other side of it, there's this part of me that's but it would also be nice if he's front and center in every playoff game broadcast to say, and they're going to lose Collin Klein, because kids at this point that aren't in the playoff are watching these games, right? And you're about to go shopping in the portal, basically.
Yep.
So
I agree.
I think there could be good and bad to both sides of it, but that happens yesterday. Jace Brown enters the portal. It's a big topic today. We'll get into that in full. Give you our thoughts in the next segment when we have the full amount of time. I think
I'll say this on the topic of Collin Klein and in the schedule of everything like that. While he's down there, I kind of thought that whenever all this stuff happened, that we would have more answers about the coordinators and things at this point before any of this got into because is there you have to delegate responsibilities. They've got their recruiting guy, Taylor Bratt's still there. He's the director of recruiting. Is this a situation where it's Taylor, just keep making phone calls, call me before we offer anybody and we'll talk it through. But you're in charge while I'm doing it. Because there has to be somebody that's going to do that.
There does. I think it's probably okay right now because while guys are entering the portal, I don't know that there's just a ton of yesterday we saw the Cincinnati is probably headed to Texas Tech. There's a little bit of stuff happening, but I think for the most part right now, it's just guys are getting in.
It's more so a bigger deal if they win this game.
Yeah.
Right now, it's not as big of a deal.
Lasts, right? But quick phone calls can be had either way. Just to say, hey, we're interested. Can you give me a week? And if the kid's smart, he would say, well, sure, I can. Because a lot of the most attractive places are teams that are playing right now, right? Everybody, it's not like K-State's unique in that they have to balance two things. Mike Elko has to balance being the head coach of A&M and trying to make sure they have enough portal players for next year. Texas Tech is shopping for a quarterback right now in the portal. Like, it's crazy. And this is the stupid calendar, and we've talked about it 1,000 times, but it's not unique to K-State to have a distracted head coach on December 17th. Every team in the playoffs has a distracted head coach right now as the portal is open. So you just have to manage it the right way. Coordinators would help, but those coordinators for all these playoff teams are also busy. I think that, I would be stunned if he didn't pull somebody from A&M into a bigger role at Kansas State. So there's that piece of it. I don't know if that would be something as bold as an offensive coordinator, but you could. Like, who's the wide receivers coach there? Like, who has he worked closely with that he trusts and likes? And that possibility is there. Somebody's probably getting a real big promotion from Texas A&M because Klein will probably poach him. Or maybe he doesn't because Elko said, we're going to support you fully. Don't take any of my coaches. Who knows? Elko's been around long enough that that's probably an unreasonable ask. It's probably don't take my coordinators, but if you want to take a positional coach, like, we can live with that. It's coaching. Like, they change all the time. So that exists too.
I'm curious. I'm curious on these coordinator positions. I think that the fact is, like, it's he's done so much K-State-esque hires of the two that he's made. I'm saying all so much of, but like, he's made it abundantly clear, like, we want people that understand the K-State way and things like that. So, like, I don't know. I don't know how
doesn't work out. Which usually doesn't work out very well.
I'm with you on that. That's what's the scary part of that. I don't
know if I believe it.
I know. I wonder how far he's going to stray away from that. Like, is he going to say, like, hey, our special teams guy's a K-State alum, and our GM's a K-State alum, and our wide receiver coach is a K-State alum, and now we're going to go get these two random guys for our offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator.
Yeah,
like, I don't know what
random. I hope that he gets coordinators. I don't know. Maybe I'm 50-50. I hope, let's say this. I hope at least one of his coordinators, whether it's special teams or offense or whatever it is somebody that's been around for a really long time, or somebody that's had some head coaching. And I know Matt Wells, everybody rolls their eyes, and Matt Wells didn't need to stay, but somebody that kind of profiles that way, because there are going to be parts of this first year that are going to be hard and kind of catch them off guard, where it might be nice to have somebody that says, hey, this is, don't lose sight of this. All the things that there are going to be growing pains, everybody, like a lot of them probably. Dude's never been a head coach anywhere. Have you ever organized an entire week's worth of practices and travel schedules and dealt with scheduling games and like all Collin Klein's ever had to do is coach so far as a coach and recruit, I would assume that's all he's had to do. I say that, I don't know that, but I'm pretty sure it's coach and recruit. Well, guess what? Being a head coach requires a whole hell of a lot more than coaching and recruiting. And probably you don't get to do as much coaching as you'd like to, because you're doing all these other things. He's going to have to learn how to do that. This isn't the NFL. This isn't Andy Reid also gets to call the plays.
I agree.
Like,
this isn't, that's the one thing that I've been talking about this entire Kleinman situation, of the fact of, like, Collin Klein's great and he's a great coordinator. He's never coached before. Like, there's got to be some great, like, there's a chance that it doesn't work. Like, that you just have to understand that this is a scary situation to hire a guy at K-State who's never been a head coach before. Like, this isn't, no disrespect, because they're going to hire him. This isn't South Florida getting Collin Klein. You know what I mean? Like, I think he'll do great.
And it's the right hire, and they're so 100%. Lucky that it happened, and like awesome, and everything.
Fans
rising
need to
star.
Fans need to feather their expectations a little bit. Like, there's got to be a grace period.
There does. He might have a team that doesn't have Avery Johnson, Jace Brown, or Dylan Edwards on it. So, like, yeah, let's hang tight a minute and see what they've got to work with. And there are, look, Cliff Kingsbury is one of the great offensive minds we've seen in this generation of football. Didn't take to head coaching quite as well, and is an amazing coordinator everywhere he goes. He didn't win many games at Texas Tech, right? He was pretty pedestrian, and he was their golden boy. I mean, he was. So if you don't laugh at a comparison to Cliff Kingsbury. This literally happened in Lubbock for Texas Tech. Cliff Kingsbury came in, first-time head coach. He was the golden boy. He was this offensive guru, this brilliant mind. They get him back there. It's the greatest hire ever. And it was, by the way, just like this is. But there were parts of it that he just wasn't the best. So I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm saying let's come into this with reasonable expectations right out of the gate and hope that he blows them out of the water. But don't start with the high expectations that's not reachable. So who is he going to have on the roster? Jace Brown News. That'll be next. We'll talk about it and discuss as we roll through Sports Daily.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas fan headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSEW.
On KFH.
Hey, you want to win a free cup of iced tea on us? You can do that right now by texting the keyword tea to the short code 20357. You can enter once per day. Message and data rates apply. This will be for HTO at any of the metro locations, East Wichita, West Wichita, or in Derby. More than 25 flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea to choose from. Great holiday gifts. Get your gift cards, your cups, your merch, your swag. If you're east or in Derby, grab the new LTO coffee drinks. But again, to win the free cup of tea at HTO, it is the keyword tea texted to 20357. Good luck, everybody. You know, it's funny. I'm just looking back. This hadn't dawned on me until right in the last segment as we're talking through it with Collin Klein. Guess where Cliff Kingsbury? Guess what his job was right before he became the head coach at Texas Tech?
The A&M coordinator.
That is correct.
Wow.
The offensive coordinator for one season at Texas A&M. One season. Same thing. Same exact thing. And look, his time at Tech was not great. It wasn't awful. He had a good first year. Of course, he developed Mahomes. He developed, we had Baker Mayfield. Like, he was it's kind of when you started to see, like, this guy's kind of a quarterback whisperer. And then he parlayed that into a, career at the Arizona Cardinals that didn't go particularly well. And now he's just kind of back to doing what he does best. I'm not saying that's going to happen with Collin Klein. I'm saying they had the same situation there. One of the best quarterbacks in school history was flying up the coaching ranks. You're able to get him back home, storybook, and then it didn't go as well as people had hoped. And I'm not saying that's going to happen with Klein. I'm saying you have to understand he's got to learn how to be a head coach. And let there be some room for that. K-State fans have been disappointed with Chris Klieman winning 8 games a year. You better hope Collin Klein wins 8 games a year. And that's always been the danger of trying to run off a great coach. And not that Klieman was run off or anything like that. And Klein is back where he belongs. And you hope this works out because he's the kind of guy who you would envision stays forever if it does. And he breathes it. And it just is perfect if he's able to do it well. We haven't seen it yet. Let's see it. And let's see who he's going to coach, because that becomes the big question now. We talked a little bit about the coordinators yesterday. Jace Brown enters the portal. Jace Brown has flirted with the portal. This is the third year he's flirted with the portal.
Basically.
He's been their leading receiver every year for a while, and he's very tethered to Avery Johnson. So
yeah, one thing that I saw yesterday that best describes the because when you think about this, I'm sure that you're the same way, and I'm sure all the listeners are the same way, is that when the leading receiver goes to the portal, what does that mean for the quarterback? And that's the biggest question about all this stuff. And there was questions about Jace Brown on its own. You want to have Jace Brown back. He's probably the best receiver that you've had in a long time. It's been since 2020 at least. I don't know what name you want to throw out there. They've had good tight ends. He only wasn't the leading receiver in his freshman year because Ben Sinnott was, and I think he was like right there with Phillip Brooks basically, who was a senior that year. Anyways, the question surrounding the Avery J situation, I can't remember who said this. It was some K-State reporter that I'm friends with. They said that they're tethered to each other, and this has been something that they've talked about in the past as well. But I think that it's more so the fact of if Avery left, then Jace Brown's going to leave.
Sure.
Not so much the fact of if Jace Brown leaves, Avery's going to leave. And so I think that there's already the question mark around Avery leaving. This doesn't help for sure, but I don't think it's the nail in the coffin. I think that there's still a chance, but it's still a question mark, and nobody knows the answer to that question.
Two of the players most closely tied, we think, on a personal level to Avery Johnson, Dylan Edwards and Jace Brown, are both gone.
Correct.
I don't. So here's what I would say. It doesn't lead to anything. I think Avery Johnson is and needs to be and is far more concerned about making it to the NFL than playing another year of college football with his buddies. Right? Who cares?
His buddies are the best target he's had in his career. Who's going to
throw
the ball to?
But that doesn't mean it can't be better than them somewhere, whether it's wherever they end up or whether K-State.
Oh, yeah. He's not going to go transfer where Jace transferred. That's not fair.
Like, I think to draw now Avery may leave, but I don't think it's going to be because Jace Brown left and Dylan Edwards left. He's had those guys for a couple of years. If Avery leaves, it needs to be and probably will be because there's a better opportunity with better players. So if K-State can somehow go out into the portal and get a few of those players, now with Collin Klein, I think there's a chance he could stay. So I don't see the Jace Brown news and think, oh, that's it for Avery. I don't. I think Avery's got to make a decision totally exclusive of any other player, anything. The first thing he has to evaluate is, does Collin Klein give me the best shot to make it to the NFL? Obviously, those two, they had a relationship, right? He helped recruit him. So that's one thing. That's the first and most important thing, is who's going to coach me. The next thing is, are we going to have the players here that can let me put on enough of a resume tape for the NFL to fill out my lifelong dreams? That's all that matters. So if it's not Jace Brown, it better be somebody else if you're K-State. Like, K-State's top priority this season in the portal, more than anything else, needs to be, how do we go find a couple of wide receivers and make sure, because the line, right, you know this better than I do. The line is in pretty good shape.
It wasn't good this past year.
But it should be better, right? Like I think at least that's the expectation. Through experience, they got the year. Look at Joe.
If they get, I guess the one thing about the line is that George Fitzpatrick, the Ohio State transfer, didn't get to play at all because of the medical thing he had earlier in the season. They would get him back, and that would help a lot. And that was kind of a thing that they're missing this year. Other than that, I think that they graduate a little bit. I don't have no idea what it's going to look like, honestly.
Yeah, we'll ask Fitz that tomorrow. But they started to run the ball effectively toward the end of the year. All of those things. I thought, to me, it was like they're getting better there, because at the start of the year, it was like a total unknown. Like, that's what we were talking about all summer. Like, how good is this line going to be? And then it wasn't very good for a while. But you better have some weapons, and if you don't, Avery's got to go. Like, that's the crap part of it. Like, Avery's got to go try to make it to the NFL, and he's going to have to be better than he was this year. NFL scouts didn't forget about Avery Johnson, right? Like, he's there. It won't take much for a good year to be like, oh yeah, this kid's wildly talented.
Exactly. Like he hasn't fallen off the boards, and that's what everybody always says about. And it's the same is true for college coaches if he entered the portal. Like, people know who Avery Johnson is in these circles. Like, everybody that I talk to is like, well, I don't know if Avery's played. Like, Avery couldn't go play in the SEC. He hasn't played good enough. And I'm like, if you've ever, like, if you watch the full game, like, I understand there's things that he has done wrong. Turn on a highlight reel of Avery Johnson. There's not that many quarterbacks that can do the things that he's done. Like,
look at what Pavia did this year at Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
And tell me that Avery Johnson can't go be great in the SEC. Like, give me a break.
I tell people all the time, like, for as little as Will Howard had to do at Ohio State, because his team was so stinking good, like, the argument all the time was Will versus Avery that year, because they got rid of Will to keep Avery. And it's like, yeah, Will Howard looks great at Ohio State. What would Avery Johnson look like playing behind that offensive line with those wide receivers? Like, he'd look awesome too. Like, that's, like, at this point, and has been, K-State is swimming upstream to try to keep Avery Johnson. Like, the odds.
It's okay. Like if they don't, it's okay.
I agree. I'm just saying, like, for people that want to know if he's going to stay, the odds are against K-State, in my opinion. I think Collin Klein helps the odds, but it's not going to be like the major shocker if he leaves, because at this point, like, they're having to fight they'll have to fight pretty hard to keep Avery, I think.
I think the resources will be there. Like the resources will be there like they have always been. I don't know that I'd say it's less likely or more likely just because I don't really know. I would guess that it's probably 50-50 at best.
I mean, it's the situation, like, to put it in normal people analogies, it's basically like you're at your, factory job. We'll say farmer. It's K-State. You're farming the crops, doing all this stuff, and it's your dad's farm, and you're just doing the right thing and going to work every day and hopping on the tractor. And then somebody comes around and says, hey, we will buy your farm if you come work for us. Here is all this money that will set you up for the rest of your life. Do you want to come work for us, or do you want to stay on your dad's farm, basically? You know what I mean?
And it happens all the time, man. It does, and guys choose to stay. Are you going to tell me that Jalen Daniels never had bigger offers over? Like, guys choose to stay for all kinds of reasons. Avery Johnson has worn the K-State banner and been the poster boy for K-State for 3 years. Walking away from that's not easy. It's not. And especially when the resources are comparable. So now it is, if Collin Klein chooses to say Avery Johnson staying is our top priority, we don't even know that that's the case. But if that's what he says and thinks, okay, how do you go into the portal now then and ensure at least 2 good receivers, right? Because that's where you'd have to start. The tight ends are in place. I think the line is in place. I don't know about the running game as a whole, but at minimum, you have got to go get some big-time receivers, and they're out there. Think about what KU did in the wide receiver room this past offseason. They brought in some pretty talented dudes at wide receiver. Like there's going to be all those SEC guys that are 3rd and 4th string that run 4.2 40s and were 5-star recruits. Go have those conversations. You want to come be a starter? You want to come catch 80 balls this year? Let's go. Like they're trying to make it to the NFL too.
I agree. I mean, if there was that's the beauty of the transfer portal. This is the good part of it that everybody always talks about how bad it is. This is the good part of it. If you want to fix things, you can fix them in a month. Like that's what this is made for. So I agree. They're going to have to be aggressive, and they're going to have to do it because they can't run it back. And this season, like, they added some pieces around them and everything like that. Like Jaron Brandley was okay, and I can't remember. Tibbs was pretty good. If they can keep Tibbs, it'll help them as well. So, like, it won't be the worst wide receiver core, but Jace Brown's the best wide receiver that they've had for the last 3 years, basically.
Can we do something here? And Jace Brown is legitimately one of my favorite players to watch. Like, I mean that. But can we stop pretending that Jace Brown is like one of the best receivers in the country?
I mean, he's
never caught more than 50 balls in a season.
He's been hurt.
He's been hurt. Right? Like, it sucks to lose Jace Brown. He's as good a deep threat. He's all the great things that he is, but it's not like he's been this key piece for the K-State offenses over the years. He's caught 27, 47, and 41 balls for them in his career. He's good. Never caught more than 5 touchdowns in a season. Like, this isn't Luke Grimm out there if we're keeping it local. Like, he's been a talented guy that, in my opinion, hasn't ever reached his ceiling either. Just like Dylan Edwards, just like Avery Johnson.
I don't know.
So can you get better than Jace Brown? Maybe that's why Jace Brown's out. Maybe Collin Klein came in and said, you know what, dude? Like, we're going to go get some dudes. Like, maybe you could. I'm not saying that happened. It probably didn't. But we've got to stop pretending for just a second. Like, Jace Brown is like the greatest receiver of all time.
That'll be my homework today. I'll look up Jace Brown's stats comparative to years past at K-State. Like, he's got to be like maybe Malik Knowles, is that was his name, was on the championship team. I think that Jace Brown was better than Malik Knowles was. Like,
really,
they've historically. I mean, since I've covered K-State, Ben Sinnott was the best receiver on the team, and then it turned into Jace Brown, and like that's what they've shown you. And before that, they didn't throw the ball. They had Deuce Vaughn.
Yeah, Deuce. I mean, that changed a little bit. In 2022, Malik Knowles, 48 catches, 725 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That is basically the equivalent of Jace Brown's best years. Phillip Brooks, kind of the same, more catches, fewer yards, more touchdowns, I think. I mean, I got to go back. K-State's had a lot of really great receivers. This current 4 or 5 year stretch since you've been covering them. Yeah. Jace Brown's the most explosive. Jace Brown's the most talented for sure. But what has that meant? Right? It's like, I guess my point is, let's not just say, and I wish Jace Brown would have stayed. Don't misunderstand either. But let's not pretend like they can't get better at wide receiver than they've had with just Jace Brown, because they can. They better, or they won't keep Avery Johnson.
I mean, I agree with your sentiment of if they went out and found themselves Emmanuel Henderson, Cam Pickett, and Bryson Canty, like KU did, that'd be a hell of a wide receiver core to throw in. Like KU did.
That's
good.
what I'm saying.
I agree. That's fine, but you got to do it. You got to go. Emmanuel Henderson was kind of a big fish. I imagine that was a pretty big target for KU to go get. If you've just got to invest into that side. But the thing is it's the same argument that we keep making of the Chiefs. K-State's got holes to fill. They're going to be a different team. A lot of key guys are going to graduate and aren't going to be there, which happens every year. But as you transition into a new era, and you want to make yourself a better team, there's a lot of conversations that are going to have to be had.
Yeah. Jace Brown, one of the all-time great deep threats at K-State. He's the 8th leading receiver in school history. So again, I don't want to make it out like I wish Jace Brown would have stayed. I really do. But they can go make the wide receiver room better even without him. They have to, or they're not going to keep Avery Johnson. That's my point. Don't sit there and panic. Oh no, we don't have Jace Brown. Now we don't have anything. Well, go get some guys. Go get collectively better at that. Because having just one guy has not worked now for a couple of years with Avery Johnson. One guy and a bunch of tight ends. How about a bunch of tight ends and 3 good receivers? Let's see what happens. And you've got the guy to go find him. Nobody's watched those guys closer than Collin Klein in the SEC this year. He sees him every week. He watches him on tape all the time. Go find him. Is there some dude at Texas A&M? I don't think he would go down that road, but maybe there's a guy that Elko says, God, you could give this kid a great opportunity. Why don't that kind of stuff happens all the time. So hopefully it can, because if it doesn't, they won't keep Avery.
I agree. I'm at the point now, it's so hard in college to even understand any of this stuff. I need to see players start coming in and start looking at depth charts, basically, because at this point, and we've said it for 2-3 weeks since Klein's gotten hired about, we don't know much. There's so many questions about this team. And this is it's starting. This is the thing that we talked about of how busy, K-State football will be in the news cycle for the next 3 months pretty heavily, because there's just so much stuff that people don't know.
KU better be in it too, by the way.
KU just needs to go get players, and that's
they better also be in the news cycle.
They will be, but theirs is just getting transfers. K-State is getting transfers and an offensive coordinator and the defensive coordinator.
If your expectation is to do it in the Avery Johnson and keep him and do it in that window and all those things, this needs to be a transfer year. It has to be. Yeah. And Texas Tech was able to do it, but they had a lot of money behind theirs. Wasn't that a bunch of former players that led that initiative? What are, Jordy Nelson and all the offensive linemen over the years? What are those guys up to? Do they have one run in them? Can they take one swing at this thing and get their boy Collin Klein some players?
That's the thing. That's what somebody talked to me about, is the fact of if there was anything that's going to get your donors juiced up, Tyron Collin Klein, they might have a big year.
Lightning in a bottle that way. I wouldn't recommend that every year for K-State. I'd recommend it this year. It'll be fun. We'll talk to Fitz about it tomorrow. Shreyas Laddha up next.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
310-1 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea.
With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite, or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas fan headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Daily Insider Interview on KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. Shreyas Laddha in. Shreyas Laddha, reporter for KU basketball, football. We've been talking football, but we're going to talk basketball right now. Shreyas, big winners over Towson last night. I thought it was a really nice performance. No Darren Peterson. We'll get to him in a minute. But the more we see Florida Badunga and Melvin Council take on bigger roles, especially offensively, I think the better it is for this team, because it sure looks like this will be one of the better defensive teams in the country.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think, the more they get situated offensively, it's only going to be better for Kansas. Defenses, obviously, it's calling card this year. Like, it tends to be under Bill Self. But they're really, really good defensively. I mean, it feels like every game they're limiting opponents to below 35% shooting. Like, it's nobody's business.
Yeah, we'll just go right to Darren Peterson here. It's a quad thing this time. It's not a hamstring thing. It's not the cramping thing. Is it better or worse news that it's a different thing?
Well, it's a quad cramping thing. So it's still cramping.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how much you guys watched of Bill Self's press conference yesterday.
I did, actually. Not yesterday, but the day before.
Yeah, he answered a ton of questions about it. I asked a few, and then the other media member asked one or two. But I wrote a story about this, but it was interesting because Bill was like, we're still considering it day to day. He's like, the issue that he's having is his body's not reacting to what his mind wants him to do. Or sorry, his brain's not reacting to what his body wants him to do. So he practiced before the Towson game, but he just wasn't moving the way they want him to move. And he was like, you saw it, guys, he was moving like he was in the Missouri game or the NC State game. And he noted, obviously, in the Missouri game, it was more due to sickness than due to anything leg related. But he's like, it's something he was asked if he was worried. He was like, I'm concerned, but not worried, I think was the wording that he used. He's been concerned about it for about 5 weeks now, right? Because they've been dealing with hamstring cramps and this and that. I think, it doesn't he could play against Monday against Davidson, but also if he doesn't feel great, in the sense of since the NC State cramps, they're still figuring out how to make him feel 100% instead of 70%. He probably sits out the Davidson game and doesn't come back till conference play at the earliest, which is January 3rd against UCF. But this entire situation is such a interesting situation is the word I'll use, because I know he's frustrated. Bill's talked about his campus. I can sense it. They're not picking the phone. And I think everyone just wants him back out on the court. He wants to be out on the court, but they just haven't quite figured out the solution to this now cramping issue that has popped back up again. And I asked Bill about it, and he talked about how Devontae Graham used to have cramps as bad as anybody, and it took him a while to get back to normal. And I think somebody said it was mustard packets that helped him out there. But I wrote about this in my story before yesterday. Peterson had a cramp last year against AJ DeMonza when he was at Prolific Prep. It was a toe cramp, and he took a mustard packet, and he was back out there. He didn't miss any games. I'm not sure, maybe because it's a different cramp in a different area, it's not working with mustard or whatever, or pickle juice or this and that. But from what Bill Self said yesterday, it seems like they're trying a lot of different things. They're talking to other medical staffs around the country. He's looking at past situations with different guys. I think everyone wants him out in the court, Self included.
Yeah, well, they do. But, risk reward at this point, I'm kind of with you. I'm not sure it makes a lot of sense to push it at this point until the UCF game. But what do you get the sense of how practice is going? We were talking about this. Is he going full speed at practice and then they're able to pull back if it cramps? I think the statement said there were cramps in practice. Are they not practicing as hard? What has been the routine on that?
Well, I think he's going 70%, and he's cramping, or he just doesn't trust his body right now to go fully. Yeah. And he's cramping a little bit every time he pushes it. And I think that's the thing. It's we haven't seen a fully healthy Darren Peterson the entire year. and this guy's still averaging 19 points a game and 5 rebounds or whatever. That's nuts to me.
It is. I mean, it's impressive. I think the thing is that, there's a frustrating part of it. There's really not, from a fan base perspective, there's really not a lot of worry about it. But I think it's more so just curiosity about, like, what does it look like when he plays 40? Like, I think that we just want to see the Band-Aid be ripped off, score 30 points, make everybody happy. And then I think that there will be less, pressure on all of this stuff. The other conversation I think through all of this that you kind of brought up is, what's the argument to make about shutting it down? Because as we talked about, the way the schedule's set up, if you could not touch a basketball until January 1st, basically, and you'll be back for Big 12 play. Like, is there thoughts about that? Or do you think that they'll keep pushing through in the practice side of this? Like, where are they?
I mean, do you mean shutting it down until Big 12 play, or do you mean shutting it down?
Yeah.
Here, okay. Okay. Well, I mean, it makes sense, for him to just practice a little bit, see how he feels. I mean, the next game is Monday, so there's a little bit of time. That said, it's not a ton of time, right? It's still like, 4 or 5 days. I think, like, just in the general situation of, like, Norm Roberts said it the other day, there's no discussion of shutting it down.
Yeah.
That being said, this hamstring thing has not affected his draft stock at all whatsoever. You go look at the mock drafts, he's still number 1. I've talked to NBA draft guys, like evaluators that I trust. They still have no qualms of putting him number 1 as the best guy in the class. That tells you how special of a talent he is. I mean, we can see it in the spurts. But, like, that's something to concern or like think about, I think, if this continues to roll into the new year, is there a real reason, if you are Darren Peterson and you're dealing with this cramps on and off, this is obviously a hypothetical, of playing basketball if you are still going to be the number 1 overall pick, even if you don't play. I mean, Kyrie did basically the same thing. He didn't play, and he still got picked number 1. So I don't want to put that in anyone's heads, but it is something to think about if this continues to roll on to mid-conference play or whatever.
He's going to be the number 1 pick. Two things, like, we can be worried about is I don't think anything's taking him off the number 1 pick. I mean, it's jumps off the screen of you when he's out there. Is there a world, you think, Shreyas Laddha joining us here, that he just like plays 25 minutes a game for KU this year, and that's just kind of what it is?
I mean, I could see it, but this is the thing, right? Like, Bill talked about it yesterday. If you have a Darren Peterson going at 70% and you're trying to interject him back in the lineup, it's like pulling different levers. You can't pull different levers to make that work. And it's just, if he goes in 2 games, plays, gets hurt again or gets cramps again, and then he misses another game, and they kind of do this back and forth thing, I don't know how beneficial that'll be for anybody, whether it's for him, for the team, for Bill. You want to have some level of continuity and health, and him playing only 25 minutes, I hope he's only playing 25 minutes fully healthy, and they're just managing like his minutes versus he's playing 25 minutes because that's all he could play.
I'll switch us gears here quickly. Let's go to football. Is the Andy Kotelnicki plane landing in Douglas County yet? You know anything about that?
I've seen the rumors. I think with Andy, like from what I've dug around, look, there's obviously some level of interest in Kansas side. They vacation together, landslide pulled, and Kotelnicki is what I've heard. I think Kansas has interest. I'm not sure how much interest Andy Kotelnicki has, depending on what other interest he's getting. I think he probably wants a job that he's guaranteed to be the offensive coordinator. I don't know what he would be at Kansas if he were to come back. On top of that, I just don't know what money Kansas has right now to get Andy Kotelnicki after being, in a deficit this past year. And from kind of just talking to people, it seems like if they get Andy Kotelnicki, well, I don't expect there to be any other staff changes.
Is that what do we prefer that? I mean, it's Kotelnicki.
I mean, like in the sense of like, if you want DK McDonald off this team, if you were a KU fan, I just don't know if they have the $1.27 million to pay the buyout for DK McDonald and also pay for Andy Kotelnicki. Like, I mean, like, unless the staff leaves voluntarily for something else, I could see them just running it back if Andy Kotelnicki is the only addition, is the addition to the staff.
I guess that's the question is, if that's and you have a good point about that. what would you rather have? I think that's the bigger part of this. Would you rather have a elevated offense by bringing in Kotelnicki and just try to score 50 every game and overcome the defense, or does KU get better by getting rid of their defensive coordinator? Like that's the question I think fans will have to wrestle with.
I'm not going to sit there and say you should fire Deacon McDonald, but they should look at closely what happened this past year and see if they can remedy that situation, whether it's with a talent infusion or changing up play calling or whatever they need to do. Just because KU's defense was horrible. KU's defense wasn't great against Brian Borland, but somehow was much worse this past year. And to me, Andy Kotelnicki is not going to he's a great offensive genius. I just don't see a scenario where KU's putting up 35 less a game with whoever's at quarterback next year, especially if they're not bringing a transfer quarterback that's potential Heisman candidate or something like that, which I don't think they are. Isaiah Marshall, Cole Ballard, or whoever gets the starting job is going to have a up and down season just because it's their first season starting.
Here's a hypothetical we talked about with Jacob. There's a school down the road that needs an offensive coordinator. Think Andy Kotelnicki will take a call from them?
I mean, why not? Why not?
He
should. I mean, he doesn't have a job. Everyone's like, why would he come back to Kansas? Well, he doesn't have a job. It's as simple as that. Not having a job makes you do a lot of things you wouldn't do otherwise. A year ago, Andy Kotelnicki was in West Virginia, head coach hunt. Now, I don't know how favorably Andy Kotelnicki is looked at among college football coaches because he doesn't have a job. If he was that favorably looked at, he probably would have an offensive coordinator job somewhere, right? That guys get picked up all the time and soon with how much movement there's been around the country. I'm surprised a little bit that he doesn't have an offensive coordinator job at some, Big Ten or ACC school at least.
If KU's strapped for cash, are they going to be able to bring in enough players to make next year a competitive year?
I mean, I didn't expect next year to be a competitive year anyways. They have 33 seniors graduating. They have the guy who's been the quarterback for 6 years graduating. Everyone says you can reload in the portal. You can do this. You can do that, internal development. But, let's call it what it is. Lance Leipold's best years are with recruits that guys he didn't recruit.
100%. That's a big next evolution in his path here.
Yeah, I want to see it if I'm a Kansas fan, but I also want to see it as somebody who's just objective observer of this, of can he recruit guys in the transfer portal and in high school football that will take him to the next step of making a bowl game consistently.
Shreyas Laddha, beat reporter at the KC Star. Follow his work there at the KC Star. You can follow him on X at SHRE98. Appreciate it, Shreyas. We won't talk next week. Merry Christmas.
Oh, Merry Christmas, guys.
All right. We'll see you then. And then we'll be ready for Big 12 play. We're coming right back with more Sports Daily. Don't go away.